Hey everybody, says that we're live now. We're doing the Google Hangouts today. It's going to be a little bit of a delay. Hey, Just Tip, how's it going? And this is kind of a last minute thing. I was going to get on here. I haven't been on in a few weeks now, probably about 4 weeks now. Keeping it real. How's it going? Maurice, I'm doing well. How are you? Not much going on here. How's everybody been? What's everybody been up to? Have I been doing any fishing? Hunting? I know it's turkey season here in South Carolina. I've been trying to catch up on yard work, getting the house cleaned up, getting it nice again. No, don't really have a set bunch of things to talk about today. I know South Carolina. I don't know if it went. I don't know if it passed through and was signed today or not. But I know South Carolina is redoing their deer tag system. I haven't even got to look at it, see what the new bill is going to be. But I think they're going to give you 2 antlerless deer tags um with your regular deer tags this time around. Just Tip says, been bait fishing lately. Moved about a mile, half a mile from a decent creek. Good, 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 good. I think I finally got a little bit of a lineup on a place where I might be able to catch some little tiny, small uh, black bullheads here. So I'm gonna try to get over there and try that out. It's hard to find little small ones. I guess around here a lot of the old timers they call them blackjack catfish. I didn't know that. If I knew that, it'd been something I've been asking. I say bullheads, people think what we call big mud cats. Um, so we'll hopefully get to try that out sometime here soon. If I can find somebody on that particular creek that'll let me fish it. If not, I'll have to go down there and park and fish off the bridge right there in the middle of the road. Doing yard work and catch bait tomorrow. Yeah, about a foot long. I'm hoping because this isn't where I'm at it or where I found. I used to trap this creek for beavers back, 5, 8 years, somewhere from 5, 8 years ago, somewhere. I never noticed there was any in there, but I know some people say that they're in those beaver swamps. And the best place I can really get to it is right there on the bridge, right there where it goes across the creek. Big Nasty, how's it going, man? So hopefully that'll be a good spot. I know I hate to go there, but there's a pay pond that I know stocks little small bullheads, but I really hate giving my money to them just to go catch them. They don't, from what I understand, they don't go and catch blue cats and stuff down at Santee or buy big fish like that. I think most of theirs are farm raised catfish they put in there. I didn't know you was feeling was sick there, Big Nasty. I'm sorry. I'm glad you hopefully feeling a little bit better. So keeping it real, you said you got a tournament on Watery. Is this gonna be the first one of the year there? So I've never really even mostly I always catch out of those little creeks and stuff or well, he's called them horny head minnows, but I guess they're everywhere else they're called creek chubs. We used to catch them there in the creek right down here behind my house. 6-8 inches long. So maybe those would be. Maybe I need to get some of those and take them out and try them whenever the flathead should start to pick up and start moving around here soon. I'm not sure. It's been warm the past few days, so maybe the water temperature's up to par for that. Two guys that I fished with a lot, they won the tournament on Lake Greenwood 2 weeks ago, and they didn't catch a single flat. I don't think a single flathead was weighed in. They won the tournament with a 13.5 pound channel cat. I think they had 30 something total pounds on 4 fish weigh-in, which may the 13.5 pound flathead isn't nothing to shake your head at. Hoping the flathead bite heats up. Got about 20 brim waiting on them. Yeah, I need to get I just cleaned out my bait tank the other day. Got all the nasty green stuff out of it and ready to fill it up and get it going, ready for some brim to put in there. Maybe some gizzard shad. I don't know. I've never tried to keep gizzard shad in a tank. I don't know how they'll do, but it does. It's black and it kind of hits the sun, kind of hits it, so it grows algae pretty quick. So they might have some food in there to eat. Has anybody kept gizzard shad in a stock tank for very long? Any tips for me that might help? Sorry, y'all, my nose itches. I've been cutting grass day. Pollen is killing me. My eyes have been watering, itchy. Crappy nibbles. Never heard of those. Well, I just always go right down here off the dock down here, just a little local lake, and I can sit right there on the dock with redworms and catch as many little brim as I want. You can use goldfish here, as long as the aquarium ones, they kind of limit their size because I know some of the big goldfish people don't like the fish with because they get out and repopulate. But the you can get what are those called? Salties. Everybody around here sells salties. Couple bucks at Wally World. There's a bait that my buddy Gary, he had some one time, and I think they were called butter worms. Kind of like a little maggot, from what I understand. But they say that brim love those things. But I've only seen them. The only time I've seen them here is somebody had them in stock by mistake at Walmart, and that's where he got them at. Yeah, I need to get out. Oh yeah, I got got me a John boat. Got me a little 12-foot John boat. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen them. They say they have a real sweet smell whenever you put them on the hook. But I did get me a little John boat, 12-foot. I'm gonna put some seats in it. I got on my trolling motor on my big boat. I can say my big boat with my fishing ski. I've got a trolling motor on there. I got it on quick change mountain bracket, and I bought another mountain bracket so I can put it on my John boat and to switch it back and forth. We ain't got to buy another one. I can sit in the back of the boat and run it with the remote control. I don't know. That 55-pound thrust on a 12-foot John boat, it might throw me off. It'll pull my fishing ski at about 3 miles an hour. Me making a wake, he probably almost get on a tube on the back of it and lay back here and drink beer while I drag you around the lake. But I've got some little T-bars to put on the back. We have three rod holders apiece on it. Just tip, which boat are you talking about? I still have my old fishing ski. If you're talking about if you came to the tournament of Wateree, that was my dad's boat. We actually have it stored down at Santee right now. We're gonna be doing a lot of fishing down there this summer. We got a place to stay down there, so we left it down there for now. So we'll kind of have a boat up here to go borrow to fish tournaments. No, I still have it. That's the fishing ski. The one that has a bunch of problems. Hopefully next few weeks I'll be able to take it to the mechanic. I keep saying that and I keep saying it. I keep running out of money. So eventually I'll get it to the mechanic. Like I said, I'm tired of messing with it. I got to get out and clean it up. It's been sitting in the building out there. It's solid. It's a blue boat and it's solid green right now, inside and out. And I got to get it out, spray it off. I got to do some work on the trailer. The whole fender and guide rail on the port side of the boat completely fell off one day down there at River Fort Landing in Greenwood. So I need to get the welder and go get some wire and gas for it to put it back together. It's just old and everything's falling apart. It didn't really help it whenever somebody hung it when they were backing their trailer up. I don't know if they hit it with their truck or their trailer, but they just ripped the whole thing off and took off with it. And it took off and didn't say anything. Just left it sitting underneath the side of the truck in the parking lot. Yeah, always up. Bust out another 1,000. Oh, that's what it means. It's always something with a boat, especially an older one. Man, when it comes to just fishing for fun, out of that boat, it's set up perfect. Rod holders right there in the back. I took out the seats. I took the seats out of it, and I sit on a cooler when I'm driving the boat, and then slide the cooler up front, and I pull out lawn chairs and hang out in the back. That way, we got this. There's plenty of room on that little boat. It's an 18-foot boat. There's plenty of room for 3 people to fish it. And like I said, it's a good boat. It's just got to get it running right. I'm ready to do some fishing. It's been last time I fished, we fished the tournament down there at Santee. I didn't get to go down for the first pre-tournament. My dad, he caught a 70, I think it was 72-pound blue cat down there and won the tournament at Hills Landing, the first pre-tournament. Let's see, the second day we caught some dinks, nothing good. And on the first day of the big tournament, we didn't catch a single fish all day. We sat out there and didn't catch a single one. First time we've ever fished Santee and got skunked. The second or the second day of the tournament, which had been Saturday, we got in some fish. We brought in 55 pounds. If we'd have had that on the first day, we'd have been in the running. Just our style of fishing that day, fish wasn't there. I don't know what it was. We had some takedowns, but they were short biting and just kept spitting it back out. So we downsized our bait and our tackle, and that didn't seem to help. It was still the same thing. They take off with it, pull on it, and then drop it. So then we tried all kinds of different things on that the first day, and just never had any keepers or any takers. But ready to go back down. We went down there. We worked on our place that we have down there. Had to do some work on it. Didn't get to fish last time I was there. I was only down there for a day. And y'all are quiet tonight. Yeah, shit happens. Yep, that's exactly the way it is. Last weekend, Wateree was a bust. Last ride, I reeled in, go home, I had Channel Cat on, didn't even know it. And that's kind of the way it goes. It's, you know, I'm a big proponent of every time. Just I don't know why. I guess it's tradition. The first fish that I catch during the day, whether it be brim or a catfish, whatever it is, I throw it back, unless it's a tournament. And we didn't do it that day. Golly, this pollen is killing me. We'll have to go get a steroid shot here soon. What you cooking, Maurice? Doing some cleaning. I understand. Been doing that all week. Yeah. So we don't even have any we ain't got a troll yet tonight. Golly. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to sneeze all over the camera. Beef fajitas. Got me on the big screen. Oh, Lord. Feel sorry for your TV. Might have to give me another TV to put out here soon. I don't know. I don't have enough room where I have the TV mounted to go much bigger. I use a 32-inch TV, or yeah, 32-inch TV out here. $2.10.90. Cheers. Right now I'm drinking Bud Light Limes. Sexy on the big screen. I appreciate it. And cheers to you too. Oh. I look a lot bigger if you put me on a smaller TV. Things are getting heated. Yeah, better bring out my boot shit kickers here in a minute. Yeah. Oh, these Bud Light Limes are going down like water tonight. It was a long day at work. It's coil cleaning season. I was at work all day in a Tyvek suit, soaking wet. It was a long day. This time of year sucked, but you got to get it done now, or get everything done before the heat comes on. They are. I can't drink regular Bud Light. It gives me a headache, makes me sick. But I like these. The Bud Light Lime doesn't seem to do it. That I know. You guys that are in HVAC know what I'm talking about. It's when it comes to cold cleaning in the spring, getting all that pollen out. But if you're not an HVAC and just have your home air conditioner, throw a book in the mix. If you're not, wait till after all this pollen clears up and go get you some cold cleaner and clean up your HVAC unit. Just the outside condensers, spray that stuff on there. Give a few minutes, hose it out, and you'll see a huge difference. There's a lot of YouTube videos about it. It'll make a huge difference in performance of your air conditioner. Neglecting doing that is probably one of the number one causes of failure on your air conditioner. or heat pump, whichever you have. Yeah, Bud Light Lime, I love it. Like I said, when you're outside working, like I said, it wasn't real hot today, but man, it's refreshing. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss nothing in the chat. Nope. No, like I said, I haven't been out here at all. I haven't done anything much on YouTube. I don't think I've actually got to watch anybody's videos or Catfish Weekly. I ain't got to watch none of it in the past 3 weeks. I don't even know what's going on out there. I feel like I'm way behind everybody. Everybody's out fishing, and I hadn't even got the chance to even go. It's just like any other beer. It's one of the things that hits your taste buds. You either like it or you don't. And if you get stuck on a boat with somebody that's all they have, you'll acquire the taste. Oh Lord, you're offended. What did I say? Oh, I was about to say, oh Lord, I done offended somebody and ain't been on here but about 15 minutes. I've been here about 20 minutes. Like, it didn't take long. But well, I guess I really don't know exactly what to talk about tonight. It's just kind of a catching up thing. Like I said, we did the tournaments. Been getting the house fixed back up. Like I said, I got to the little John boat, so I'm really excited. It takes a lot to defend you. It takes it's gonna be a little bit of a change until I get the big one done. But I can fish. There's a lot of lakes around here that are small. This 100-acre lakes that are ponds that you can get out there, and a lot of them have like motor restrictions. Some are, I think there's one that's maybe you can't even have a gas motor on. It's got to be electric. So I'm gonna hit some of these lakes up, and I know one of them has some really nice flatheads in it. And the whole lake ain't but about, I think, about 20 foot deep at the whole time, at the deepest point, but it's got a motor restriction. And there's another lake here that I want to try that's really good crappie fishing. So I'd like to get some of those in the freezer. Just a tip. Let's see what you said. You at least catch a buzz. Unless I'm in a tournament, I bring something. Keep you warm at night. Even that cool breeze at night will get to you. A little Fireball or something like that might warm you up. Remember last time I drank Fireball on here, man, I was sick the whole next day. And that stuff, I don't know what it is about it. It makes me sick as a dog. As soon as I done it, it was a mistake. How many people are watching right now? I can't see it whenever I have it on Google Hangouts. Hmm. 5. Dang. Say I get to 10. If we can get it up to 10 tonight, I got something I'll try. Buddy brought this by and dropped it off. It's not a lot, but I'll try it. It might be a bad idea to do this, but it's I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know if it'll focus, but Old Smoky Blue Flame, 128 proof, so it's not too bad. I'll try it if I can get 10 people in here watching at some point. I'm only gonna try to keep it going. I say this every time. I'm gonna try to keep it going about an hour. It always ends up being about 2 hours long. Everybody gets in here and gets rolling and cutting up, and we keep it going. I don't have anything else to do tonight. As long as I'm in bed to go to work. Hi, Maurice. Whatever reason you have to take it up to the hospital, man. I hope it gets better, pans out, whatever you got going on, man. I'll pray for you if you need me to. Been dropped before. Hey, dang. Apparently they don't want to see me drink. But that's fine. It's probably, I guess it was Maurice leaving. Oh man, Big Nasty, what you got coming up on in the works on your channel? You seem like you're getting a pretty good pattern of different topics and coming up with different things for your channel. Just kind of wondering what you got coming up next. I need to get my cameras back from my dad. Gar fishing. Yep. Are you going to eat them? Because I know, and everybody is starting to pick up on this eating gar back straps. So I know they're a pain in it. They got to be a pain in the ass to clean, but they say it's delicious. I haven't got to try it yet. Fishing with you soon. Do it, man. The collaborative stuff always goes over well. Buford tomorrow. You don't eat gar. Well, like I said, people have been trying it, and my guy Gary that I fish with, he loves it. Like I said, he apparently he cuts through or cuts down beside the head with a sawzall. Then takes 10 snips and cuts down the back and down the belly underneath the skin. Rips it off on each side and then fillets out it's basically like a back strap out of a deer. Cuts it up in chunks and fries it, and he loves it. Made a video last night. So y'all, both of you guys live up there towards water or Wiley watery area, right? Because I was curious if any of you have ever, I'm not sure what river it is. It's somewhere up in that area that has a native muskie population. I don't know if it's the Broad River or one of those rivers that apparently has a viable muskie population. I don't know if they say they somehow got trapped there when they put the dams in. It was one of the few muskie populations that came out of a certain drainage that ran pretty high up. PGH, welcome, man. I hope you're having a good day too. Everything around here is going good. Say I was in here. I was making K&B. I was making pop some sinkers the other day, and I had a bunch of lead shot in a bucket, and I went to go pick it up, and the bottom of the bucket cracked. Man, I have number 7 shot everywhere in here, and I have a cooler that I always prop my foot on when I'm doing these videos. Man, this thing, it rolls around like a office chair. So that's what y'all are hearing if you hear something scooting around. Pop's in the hospital. I hope he's doing all right. I didn't know that. I hope he's doing better. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. Last time I seen them was when they were cleaning fish the other day on the channel while I was in here painting. Stomach issues. Well, I'm hoping he gets over. Hope it wasn't the fish that they were cleaning the other day. I'm hoping he gets better soon. Man, I really enjoy hanging out, talking to those guys, especially Pop. Pop, he has some awesome stories. Had surgery. Hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I got you. Yeah, that tea, man, it'll get you every time. Damn, smelling police are in here again. Man, I'm looking at this camera, man. My beard's crooked. I'm gonna have to go get that fixed. I have to go see the ladies at Roosters. Get someone in to hang out and do something. The grammar Nazi. Get someone in to hang out and do something. You want to get in here, or are you not feeling up to it? I was gonna say, do you want to hop in here? You're more than welcome to. I'll send you the link. Um, I don't have a beard. Just a tip. If you want to join, you can. You're more than welcome to. I think you can have up to 3 or 4 people. It gets kind of once you get over 3 people in there, it gets a little confusing. If I could see if you have a camera, Big Nasty, you can get in front of it. I can send you a link to it. I think you have to add a plug-in, and all you do is click on the link. Foot and mouth. Oh, you're on your phone. It'll work on your phone, but it's hard. I don't know how well it works. So that's the way. When Jim came in here, I think he was on an iPad. I can send you the link and you can try. It won't take me a second. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can find you. Mm-hmm. Give me just a minute, and I'll find this and send it to you. I sent it to your Facebook page. messages. I thought about shaving my beard off, but I just can't bring myself to do it. And I could shave it off and grow it right back in just a couple months. All right, well, I'm going to step outside for a second. Y'all carry on. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Because I've been drinking this Bud Light Lime for about 4 hours now. Man, the bugs have picked up in here. Wow. Let's see. Let's see where I left off. So you have to wear a hairnet at work, and the beard net sucks to where I had to wear those before working in plants, doing work there. Yeah, it does suck. No, I've caught a few garb. I've never caught them on purpose. I've never even tried. I know they love live bait, and if you get in them, they're there because they usually run in schools. I know one thing though: if they come in while you're crappie fishing, you might as well pick your stuff up and move because once they come in there, the crappie leave. Yeah, just Tip, I'm glad you didn't put that video of me where we met at the catfish conference. I'm glad you didn't put that online. We should have not went to the bowling alley before we came up there. Was it with the gar? That's what. Oh yeah, when a gar hits it, they don't stop. They take off, and they're gone. PGA, did you leave? Are you still here? I I seen you guys at the conference, but you were doing an interview with someone, and I didn't get to talk to you. I didn't even go on Saturday. We we went out Friday night, and we should have waited till Saturday night to go out. Shopping spree. Yeah, because I know I got there Friday. We was there with the doors open, and spent all my money the first day. All my spending money. I tell you what, man, Louisville's a fun place. I understand why they're wanting to move it from Louisville because of the things with Kentucky and the walls that they have with the Ohio River with the commercial fishermen. But Louisville's a fun place, and it is kind of central location, but for a lot of people. But yeah, it's Louisville can be a fun place. Good food, man. Man, there's such good food there. Boat fun got drained. Yeah, I forgot I even had a boat while I was there. I had to spend everything I had. Had just enough to get back on. I set aside a certain amount of money and I put it on like a prepaid debit card, and that's all I take, because if I took my bank account up there, it'd be over. And we went for 2 years in a row now. Both years that we went up there, it has been flooded. I mean, the first year we went was a lot worse, but this year, it's flushed out. I've been trying to get with Tim from Whisker Sticks to meet up with him and fish with them every year, because he tries to do a meet and greet, meet and fish. And both years it has been, a no-go because everything's so flooded. I know that first year, you couldn't even go over to the other side of Louisville because there was standing water over all the roads. But hopefully, I wonder, have y'all heard anything of where they're trying to move it to? I've heard Charlotte. I've heard other places. Memphis would be one down there on the Big Muddy. I've heard some other places. Memphis is a little bit further away, but it is almost right in the center for a lot, basically for the country, for what I can tell. Yeah, apparently here the past few years it's rained like crazy up there every year in February, January. But it did that here. It was, how it was here, and it was. I don't think I've seen that much rain in the wintertime since I was a child. No, it wouldn't bother me either, man. Bring it to Charlotte. Actually, a good place I think it would be to have it is at Chattanooga. I think Chattanooga would be an awesome place to have it. As far as people in the Southeast, and Chattanooga is a great, great town. Yeah, we actually did get a little bit of a snow. We didn't get what people around Charlotte got, but we got a few flurries. I walked outside and it was pretty. I mean, it was snowing, about 1 inch snowflakes falling. Man, it was pretty to see, and it didn't stick, which I love. It was pretty in the pines and went away instantly. I don't know, how much snow did you guys get up that way? I know they were calling for a good bit. I don't know how much stuck, but it was supposed to be snowing pretty hard. Oh Lord, there he is.
What's up?
Not much, man. Let me turn mine down just a hair.
Let me go in here and turn my TV off. So.
Bass, what is that about?
I got 3 accounts or something apparently. So I had to set this up a while back because I was doing some new stuff with YouTube, and I apparently lost all my YouTube stuff on TV, and I had to go back out of it and re-sign in. And my buddy Preston that fishes with me, he manages all my stuff on my Instagram, so he set me up I guess an account. So I don't know nothing about Instagram, so he has to manage all that stuff for me. So
good. What's got you under the weather? You just been sick, coughing? What's been going on?
I had some kind of lower abdominal pain. I don't know if it was diverticulitis or the runs or what it was, but I had something.
That'll cause it.
I kind of I was supposed to be on my way to Beaufort right now, but I told Miss Amy I couldn't go tonight. We'd have to go tomorrow. So I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm thinking about getting out of here in the morning early and going down there. So
what you plan to do while you're down in Beaufort? You gonna fish, or what's the plan for that?
Well, Miss Amy's aunt lives down there, and they've been wanting us to come down there for some time now. And finally, we just all got on the same sheet of music. And Amy likes to go down there and hunt for shark teeth and shells, because the beach on Hunting Island, it's actually Hunting Island we're going to, but we call it Beaufort. So I'm gonna try to do some fishing while I'm down there. I'm not much of a saltwater fisherman, but I'm gonna try it, see what happens.
Yeah. Go there, see if you can stick you some flounder, get in the bays.
Well, I don't know how to fish for a lot of them saltwater fish, but I'm gonna try it. I threw me a tackle box together a few minutes ago and loaded it in the truck. So I'm taking some stuff with me to see. Taking a couple rods, and I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing down there. Might not do nothing.
Might not do. Hey, vacation's vacation, whether you're fishing or laying around.
That's right.
Now, I say I've never fished for any of that saltwater stuff, but I've got some friends that they love going in there. And they like to basically use like a frog gig for catching those flounder.
Yeah. Well, every time I've ever went from the bank or a pier, it's been a bust for me. I usually catch maybe one little old tiny fish, and when I say tiny, I'm talking about like this big. Can't even tell that it's biting. I just usually reel it in and find out I got one on there. But now I've been out on deep sea fishing trips a couple times and wore them out. I went out there with a Greek guy one time on a 16-foot boat. I don't advise that, going out on a 60 miles out in the Gulf Stream on a 16-foot boat. But I thought we were going to die for about 6 hours. And then we probably caught somewhere in the neighborhood of 350, 400 fish. When I come back, I couldn't even raise my arms above my head. It was just insane. Black bass and grouper and red snapper and stuff like that. It was just unreal. But I think that's about the only time I got seasick.
No, I wouldn't advise even going out on CNT in a 16-foot boat.
It was rough.
The ocean.
I don't know that it was 16 foot, but it wasn't a real big boat. It might have been 18 foot, but it wasn't much more, if anything. So
that's still small being on the ocean with it. We went out. I think we was in FFA and we was at Cherry Grove. We took a charter out, and that was a big boat, and the 40-something feet long, and I still didn't like it very much.
Yeah, it's rough. Unless you go out on a bigger boat, like I've been on a charter boat one time with like 60 people. There's somewhere around 60 people on it. I guess it was probably at least a 60-foot boat. I don't know. It's big. And it wasn't too bad. But, you know, once one fish is caught, he'll run through 30 lines, and they'll have to cut all the lines and start all over. And it's just about ridiculous going out on one of them boats.
Mm-hmm.
But you do catch fish. I mean, they put you on the fish, but it's just, like I say, you got 60 people with rods out. And it's when one fish starts running through them, it just cleans half the darn crew out. So it's tough.
I don't remember that. I know some people was catching some little shark. We got a bunch of little sharks, and that was interesting. There was a good bit of blood in the boat. I don't know if it was people trying to take the hook out themselves or the sharks themselves or what, but there's a lot of Band-Aids going on.
You know, those little sharks are good to eat. I don't know if you ever eat any, but you can cut those things up in little nuggets. Oh,
I've never had shark.
They are crazy good. Now, I've never eaten a big shark, but those little dogfish, they're pretty good. Like I say, you cut them up, put them in buttermilk for a couple hours, and bread them in some Alder House seafood breader. They're pretty good. I'm not much of a fish eater. I really ain't. I'll eat fish, but don't go out of my way to eat it. I eat flounder, and I like frog legs and crab legs, but I'm not much of a fish eater.
I I just haven't in a long time. I do love catfish stew. That's one of the things I love to make. And, as far as fried fish, I don't really like greasy food, so I like to do it other ways. Bake it. I will fry crappie as long as it's not too greasy. I'll eat it.
I never eat crappie.
Really?
Never eat crappie. Never really caught a crappie until about a couple of years ago. Just never really been crappie fishing a whole lot.
That's what I kind of grew up. I didn't get into catfishing until I was in my about 24, 25 years old. I bought my first boat and went out and started just doing it at night when I was out of school. But before that, I only fished for crappie.
Yeah. I can't see chat. I don't know what's going on in chat. I don't know how this works anymore, but I don't see anything on chat anymore.
Right now, let's see. BSF Outdoors, he stopped by to say hi. And Marty said that the winters, the rivers up there where he's at are still flooded in Tennessee, which I can imagine, man. I seen some of that footage from up in Iowa and out in Nebraska and stuff. Man, that was crazy. Missouri.
I know me and Just a Tip was supposed to go fishing last night. I told him, I said, man, I just don't think I can go. Whatever's got me, he's got me down. And I hated not going because last night I got feeling better. And I was like, well, I wish I went now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It's hard to fish when everything you got's running through you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have that problem right then. It was just, a little lower abdominal pain. But I think we narrowed it down to diverticulitis maybe. I don't know. It was something. But
glad you're starting to feel better.
Well, I appreciate it.
So what do you have planned coming up with your next videos? What you got anything special you want to try to do besides the fishing in Beaufort?
I don't never really plan anything now. Now me and Preston, the guy I fish with a lot on the weekends, he's my weekend fishing buddy. Every other weekend, me and him will go out somewhere, and he loves them panfish. He likes to catch fish. So when we go fishing, I have to kind of tailor my fishing trip around him because he ain't gonna sit there and wait on a bunch of catfish. About a week or so ago, I think his girlfriend went out of town for the couple of days or whatever. And I told him, I said, let's go catfishing. So we went up to the Bustable Bridge, and the guy that was in the Patriot Catfishing Tournament, John, they caught a 56-pounder up there.
Oh, yeah.
We went up there and fished with him. And about an hour after we got there, he sat down in the truck. And he wasn't digging it no more. He was ready to go. I said, you didn't really want to come catfishing, did you? He goes, man, that's boring. I don't want it. I don't like to sit there and watch no rods. I want to catch some fish. So we went a few weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen the video or not, where we went to Saluda Shoals and I caught that big gar. Get out of here. And he wants to go back there next weekend. So there's a great possibility that's where we're going. And if we go down there, we're strictly going for gar. There is pickerel in that stream. It's actually a stream that feeds the Saluda River, and I know you know where the Saluda River is.
Oh yeah, it runs right down the road from me.
Yeah. Years ago, my uncle took me on the Little Saluda River, which there is a difference. A lot of people don't know there's a Little Saluda River and a Big Saluda River. He took me down to Saluda River, the Little Saluda River, when I was a kid, and I was probably 12 or 14. And I remember gar being so thick in that river. I mean, hundreds of them scraping up against the bottom of a 10-foot John boat. And I would try to catch them. He'd say, don't mess with them fish. Don't mess with them fish. They ain't no junk fish. Leave them alone. And I always liked gar fishing. And this past summer, I got into that real big. And I know I've talked about it on a lot of my live feeds and stuff. But that's something I'm really waiting on to happen again. And I'll probably do away with every other fishing I want to catch the state record this year. That's my goal, to catch the state record gar.
Well, that was one thing me and my buddy was talking about. Is like, if you want to set a state record, gar is probably the easiest to set or to try to break right now.
Yeah.
And,
nobody ever fishes for them. Everybody hates them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to break a dude's jaw the other day because he was sitting there talking about how he catches them and breaks their bill off and throws them back in the water. And I'm not an animal rights activist, but I mean, I just don't see any sense in doing that. He says they eat all the bass up, and I don't buy that. I mean, they've been in that river for a long time, and they've been depleted a lot over the years. So, you know, they don't mess with the bass population much. I know they probably eat some fry when they're small.
You know, got to think about that. They have reached that balance point where they're either, you know, there's enough bass in there to hold a population and to deal with that predation on them.
Right. I mean, they're going to eat whatever they can get in their mouth. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, they're going to eat it. Really? Yeah.
If you have to worry about a fish that'll decimate a population of bass or crappie in a small area, flathead catfish.
Yeah. Yeah. Flatheads, you could, you know, I think if you probably turn 20 flatheads loose in a pond, there wouldn't be a fish in it in, 5 years. Yep. I mean, they probably eat every fish in it. But as far as gar is concerned, there's not a whole lot of gar on the Catawba River that I've seen, and I've been out there a lot. I mean, they're there, but it's not like when I was a kid and went on the Little Saluda River and seen them, just by the hundreds. I mean, they were hundreds. I would like to get in a spot like that where there was that many where you could actually catch them. But
so how do you target gar? What kind of reed do you use? How do you go about catching them?
That's kind of a loaded question because I really just learned how to fish for gar properly, I think. But I can't test that theory yet because when we went last year, we started kind of catching them by accident. We noticed that when we were reeling our whopper ploppers in or whatever out there at River Park, that they were chasing the topwater lures, So we kind of started targeting them a little bit. And I'd seen some videos, and we had cut shad and stuff. So we started cutting shad up and brim and putting it on hooks and running a sinker with, I don't know, maybe 8 inches off of a float.
Mm-hmm.
And they would get it and they would take it and run, and we were trying to snag them and we couldn't get them. Well, then I came home and I started watching videos, and they said, you got to let these fish run because when they first take it, they're trying to run off from the other fish to swallow it. Because usually they're around other gar, other predator fish that want to eat the same bait they're eating. So they just want to get away from everything else and eat it. And so I started thinking about, well, we need to let them run farther. Well, the next time we went out there, we let them run farther. But, I mean, I don't know if you know anything about here, but River Park's a good ways from the Catawba Indian Reservation. I mean, I felt like one of them was fixing to run into the Catawba Indian Reservation at one time. He was going so far down the river. And I was running out of line. I had to make a decision. And we still wasn't getting them. So we started using treble hooks. And then we started hooking up. But unfortunately, it was the end of the year. It was, getting a little bit colder, and the gar were going a little bit deeper. And by the time we learned how to fish for them, essentially gar season was over. And, they like warm water. They like to get up there near the top in the sun. And they'll bite in the dog days of summer. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just lost you on video.
My battery's going dead on me. So.
Yeah, the only time I've had much, I don't say luck because I'm not trying to catch them, but when I catch most of mine is when I'm using a bobber and running a leader down no more than 6 to 8 feet. If I'm going deeper than that, I usually don't catch them. But if catfish are in the water column somewhere and I'm trying to target them, that's usually when I get them when I'm using a float.
Yeah. They're not easy fish to catch. And I guess that's why they appeal to me so much because it takes some work to get these fish. I mean, it's not an easy task, and I know people say you can get them with a rope, and like I say, I'm not an animal rights activist, but I don't think it gives them a fighting chance when you got a rope.
Yeah.
If they bite that rope, you're gonna catch them. I mean, it's about a done deal. If they bite that rope, they're gonna get tangled up in it, and you're gonna get them, and you're gonna have to break half their teeth out to get them out. And just like with cat fishermen, they like to release their big fish alive, and I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to catch them another day. I don't want to kill them. So I feel like the rope gives them no chance at all, really. So that's why I choose to use other means to catch them. But that last one I caught, I foul hooked him, and I didn't mean to, but I'm going to go back on my word from it. At first, I was trying to foul hook him. I mean, I was trying to rake him across his bill and get him.
Yeah.
But then I said, nah, I ain't going to do that. He thrashed around a little bit and finally got the hook in his side, and it was on a lure. But we're going to go back there and see if we can get him the right way the next time. So,
I know they always had a bad time. They always take and break my leaders, but use one of the little steel leaders with a treble hook. That might help a lot.
Yeah. Well, I always use the same kind of leader I use catfishing, like a 40 or 50-pound mono leader. They don't usually tear it up too bad with those little teeth. I mean, you might get a little abrasion on it or something here and there. But I use like 25-pound test with a 50-pound leader, and just to keep them from cutting it. And but we'll see. We'll see this summer. As soon as gar season comes back in real good, I'm gonna hit them hard. But the answer to your question, the long answer to your question is I don't never have a agenda about what I'm going to do about fishing. It's sometimes I'm in the truck in the morning, I don't even know where we're going. We just like, well, we're going here or we're going there, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. But that's the way I plan most of my fishing trips, unless I got an agenda. This year I plan on going to Florida and ditch fishing all the way from here to Florida. And I'm trying to find somebody who wants to go with me. And wants to kind of share in expenses and stuff, because probably going to camp out along the way and maybe go through Georgia and a little bit of Florida, trying to catch some peacock bass and gar and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do they have the alligator gar in Florida?
I don't think the alligator gar are this far east. I think they're all a little bit more west. I could be wrong, but everybody calls these gar around here alligator gars, but everybody calls snapping turtles around here alligator snapping turtles too.
Yeah, it's a common snapper.
Right. And half of them don't know what they're talking about, but I don't think they're this far east. I wish they were, because the best place I know of the alligator gar fish is in the Trinity River. And Muddy River catfishing goes down there. I've seen him out there at least a couple of times fishing with those guys in the Trinity River. Looks like a lot of fun.
Some of the places that he fishes, where he pulls out those blue cats, they don't even like somewhere that you could fish and catch little small fish.
Yeah.
But there's runs and stuff, man. It's a weird deal for me to watch that. But he seems like he's got a really cool setup there to fish. And now I guess he's guiding now.
Yeah. That part of that river that he fishes on, the water ain't even there part of the year. It shuts down. I mean, they shut that whole river down. This fish die. I mean, it's like a desert out there.
Mm-hmm.
They only open up that part of the river for irrigation and stuff like that part of the year. And so I don't know if it's this time of year or not, but I know that part of the year they do shut that part of the river down completely. And everything just dies off. They don't even allow them to go out there and pick up the fish. Just dying out there in the pools. They just let them lay.
Mm. Well, I mean, you think it sounds. Some people might say that's a waste, but if it's for irrigation, all that stuff that rots off and they put it right back in there, that's fertilizer.
Exactly. Matter of fact, Chris has got a video out that shows, when they shut that down and how everything starts to die off around there. I mean, it kind of bothers you a little bit at first, but there's some big old fish laying out there in them little holes, just, you know, just trying to survive on a 10-gallon, maybe 10 gallons of water in a little pool. But, you know, that's just the way they do it every year. And they'll turn the water back on a certain time of year, and that's when he goes out there and does his fishing and stuff. So,
you know, he's probably when it comes to the YouTube guys, he's one of the first ones I started watching, and man, it's unbelievable to watch and see where he fishes. And I know the reservoir he likes to fish, I can't remember what the name of it is.
Elephant Butte.
Elephant Butte, it almost dried completely up.
Yeah. Well, you ought to go up to Douglas Lake in Tennessee and see that thing when they drop the water up there. They drop the water probably 100 feet, and that's no exaggeration. If you go on my one of my videos and look at waterways, I think that's what I titled the video. That water down there, everything around there floats. And a certain time of year, I think it's in the wintertime, they drop the water levels, I mean, huge, drastically. I don't know why they do it. Somebody told me, but I can't remember exactly what they said. But that water's down 100 feet or more. And when it comes back up, all the docks and everything will start floating back up. And all the boat docks and everything.
Is that the one, if you're going, like from here, if you're going to Louisville, do you cross it there and it's just this huge rock ledge on this right there when you go over the bridge? And I've been there, was up that rock ledge, and then I went back and it would be almost dry down there.
I don't know. You talking about Louisville, Kentucky?
Yeah, it's on the way. It's somewhere in Tennessee. You cross it on the way up there.
I don't know. This is right outside of Sevierville. It's not far outside of Sevierville, Tennessee, where Dollywood and
not far from
Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and all that stuff is. It's not far outside of there. Probably, well, from where we stay, it takes me about 10 minutes to get there, and we're on the upper end toward where you come into Pigeon Forge. So it's not a bad place to go, but I fished up there, and I probably threw everything I had in the box and couldn't catch anything. Yeah, you know, somebody that's probably from up there knows how to catch them, but I couldn't catch anything up there.
No, I know we go over this bridge every year, and you know everything else that way is flooded and everything else. And then we'll go over this one bridge, and you can see the water levels on the rocks where they'll bring way up, and then all of a sudden we'll go back and it'll be way down. It's somewhere here or there. I can't remember exactly where it is.
That's probably it. I don't know exactly how far that goes up like that, but it's that sounds about right. That sounds about like the place I'm talking about, and it's ridiculous. Like I say, the way they drop that water level around there is just freaking ridiculous. You just can't believe that they drop a lake down like that, but they do it.
And I don't know if it's for power or what it's for, but it's pretty impressive. Like you said, you see where we go, you see the water levels on the rocks, and they'll bring it down so far and it'll be on a water line. Another so far it'll be another water line. And it just moves up and down. You can tell. It's really neat to see that. You're way up off the water when you go across that bridge.
Yeah. When I went up there, I paid no attention to it when I first went to the lake. And then I got to looking around. And, you know, you got to walk down the boat ramp like, I don't know, probably 40 yards. I mean, it's straight down. Just about. It's got a serious incline to it. And, then I get down there and start looking around. I start seeing where the water was. And then I talked to some guy that was standing out there fishing. I said, "What's up with this?" And he said, "What do you mean, what's up with this?" And I said, "What's up with this water?" I said, "Are they going to turn water loose in a little bit and flood us out?" And he was like, "No." He said, "That water won't come on until whenever." And he said, "They drop this down every year like this." And when I went back the second time, it was the same way.
You talk about whenever they release water and the river comes up. We done our when I was doing EMT work, went up to Catawba River right there behind the dam.
Yeah.
And was where we were doing our swift water rescue. We were doing a wedge maneuver out there, and we were out in the middle of on some rocks and stuff, just kind of looking around, doing different scenarios. That siren went off. They said, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah.
They said it comes up quick.
That water there is rough. I know years ago, there's a little island. I know you've seen the island out there, but people used to be out there fishing on that little island, and the water would come up. They'd be climbing the trees to get out of the water. I don't even remember seeing a sign out there years ago when all that happened. But now they got a huge sign out there saying danger, water level, and this, that, and the other. But it don't seem like it comes up as high as it used to. I don't know where the river's gotten wider over the years, and it's taken up a little bit more of the water. But I remember it used to cover that island all the way up. It seemed like it to me, anyway. When I was a lot younger. But there used to be some good fishing out there. Still,
we had to, whenever we were coming back after siren went off, we were all on like a safety line. And by the time we got back, we were pulling on that safety line. Couldn't touch the bottom. It was pulling us down the river. It didn't take long.
Yeah. That river has nearly got me a few times when I used to go down it a lot on a little plastic, I call it a plastic bass boat. It was about 11-foot bass tender. I don't know if you ever seen one.
Oh yeah. That's what we used to fish Holidays Dam here a couple of times. A little bass boat looking thing. Got 2 seats on it.
It looks just like a bass boat, except it's plastic. And I had a 9-horsepower Mercury on it. And we'd go out on that river and fish and come back up the river to come out. And you'd have to shoot straight into the mouth of that dam in order to get around to the boat landing, because you can't cut across. If you cut across, the water would just basically wash you back down. So you pretty much got to go into the mouth of the dam. And I remember a few times looking over at the bank, and I could see the grass grow. I mean, we wasn't moving. We was moving just enough to say we were moving, probably a half a mile per hour against the current. And I'd be in that water for 10 minutes trying to get up through there. And once you get up in the mouth of it, then you can shoot on around and kind of get yourself out of it. But it's tough. I mean, that water ain't no joke when it starts coming up.
So let me ask you this. What got you started to want to do the YouTube thing? Do the videos and things? Was it Dieter, or you just decided you want to try it?
Well, I just really wanted to catalog some of my fishing videos, because at the time I had a 64 gig phone, and it wouldn't hold all of my fishing videos. And I used to be into hot rods pretty thick. Well, just until a few years ago, actually. But most of my life, I've messed with hot rods a lot, and that channel was actually for putting my hot rod stuff on, car videos and stuff of that nature. And I had a little Mustang I was messing with, and then when I started fishing again, I started throwing the videos on my YouTube channel, just a couple of them here and there, because it was clogging my phone up. And I kind of always really liked catfishing, but I never really could get on the big ones, if you know what I mean. Without a boat, it's tough. You can bank fish for months and months and months and never catch a big fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I've caught big fish off the bank before, but nothing like what I've caught on a boat. And when the YouTube tournament come up, I don't know, I just got a bug. I said, well, I would like to get my YouTube channel off the ground a little bit more, and this will be a good way to do it, because the way they was talking about doing it, everybody's got to go live, and everybody's got to subscribe to everybody else's channel. And I just thought it would be a way to get my videos out there a little bit more than normal. And when I hit the lake that day, I had 42 subscribers, either 42 or 47. Those two numbers stick in my head for some reason. And when I started my live feed, I had 42 or 47 subscribers. And when I got off, I had over 100. And, I really contribute a lot of that to Dieter, being on his boat. it was kind of an accident that it happened that way, because I had said probably a few weeks before that on one of my live feeds that I would like to get on a boat with either him or Jeff Manning, you know, and I said, hint, hint. And, and when we got out there that morning, I mentioned something to James about it, and he was busy naturally. He had a lot going on.
Yes, he did.
And right there at the end, I said, well, I guess I ain't going to get on a boat because everybody done launched except a couple of people. And I was just about ready to get back in my truck and go home. Not because I was mad or anything. I didn't want to come out there and fish off the bank.
Mm.
That wasn't my intention. So I done just about got my truck in my sights and said, well, I'm just going to run on to the house because it was my girlfriend's birthday anyway. I didn't really need to be out there to start with. And, you know, she kind of pushed me to go. And he said, I'm going to get John on a boat with Jeff Manning. And I was thinking, well, Jeff Manning boat big enough for me too. You know, that's what I was thinking. And so a few minutes later, he hollered for Dieter, and Dieter was headed toward his boat. And he stepped back over there and he said, do you mind if Jeff rides with you? And he said, not at all. And we literally launched 5 minutes before, you know, I mean, we got the boat out on the water 5 minutes before the launch. And that just kind of worked out. And he took us to the right place, and we got on the fish right away. And that video is that's no exaggeration of the truth. I don't know if you watched the video or not. We was on the fish that fast. First place we stopped, boom, boom, boom. It was just, you know, we was upgrading one right after the other. And then we moved to the second spot, and we caught a couple of fish. And when we moved that third spot within 5 minutes at 49.95, bended the rod over. And, you know, I didn't know he was going to make me land every fish. But he was very courteous, and he, you know, like I say, every time a rod would go over, he'd go, that right there is going over. Get it. Get it. So, you know, but I think we threw away the third place fish. That 30 he threw it over the side, we never weighed it, but I think it was that was probably the third place fish. But he wasn't about that. He said, go big or go home. So that's what happened. But after that, it really lit a fire up under me. Trying to get my videos going a little bit better and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not out here trying to make me, I would like to make some money off some videos, but it's not going fast enough for that. I'm kind of stuck right now at about 417, 418, somewhere along in there. And it's just kind of leveled out. So,
yeah, it comes in spurts for me. I don't know where I'm at now. I haven't looked in a while. I was over 300, and it just, like you said, kind of leveled out. And then, you know, I haven't been posting videos and things like that. But, and your channel, you seem to have the gift of gab and like to talk to people, and you're a good personality to watch. And it really seems to help you get there. Me, I'm kind of more of a kind of keep to myself. I do these live feeds and things, but when I'm out on the water, especially whenever the camera's put in my face, especially like even at the catfish conference, put the camera in my face and I'd clam up. But I don't know why I like doing these live feeds. I do well with those, but people want to see you fish. They don't want to see you just kind of standing around talking.
Well, you know, some things are like that. I see some of these live feeds that people got on here. That's all they do is live feeds. I never see them fish. And apparently they're getting something. I don't know where sub for sub or what it is, but, you know, get in here and grow with us, and get in here and chat with us and grow. And, you know, I just don't get into that kind of thing. I just rather, if somebody don't want to watch me, I don't want them on my channel. I just rather they get off and go somewhere else. If they're going to watch my videos, you know, welcome. I got some people that's pretty serious about watching my videos, I guess, because the same people commenting on the videos all the time. And I don't go out here trying to make, I mean, we have a lot of fun. We do. We really have a lot of fun when we're doing our videos. But probably some of the best stuff that should be on video ain't on video because we got the camera off or whatever, you know. And I don't like this thing of waiting on a rod to bend over before you turn the camera on. But when you got a GoPro, I don't know if you ever had one or not, you can't leave that thing on. If you do, you're going to burn through some battery. They'll throw a battery in no time. And I have this thing here that I can plug up to it, and it'll hold a charge for a pretty good while. But you know, if you're going to be out there on the river or waterway all day, it's tough to leave your camera on all the time and burn through all that battery life, because once it's gone, and you hook a big fish, you're done.
Yeah. If the advice I can give you on that one, what I done is I went to a Walmart and I bought one of the, you know, the batteries that they used for deer feeders. It's just a small lithium battery, and I connect one of the little charging things to it where you can just plug it into that and clamp it onto that little battery. The GoPro will last 12, 14 hours. It'll just record until it starts to eat itself over.
Something like that?
No, it's a 12-volt battery. It's I don't know, it's probably 6 inches long by 4 inches high. And it's what they put in deer feeders and cameras like that. And it's just got 2 little things on it. You can make you a little plug-in for it, and a GoPro will last all day on that. You can use up the whole card on it before it'll cut off.
Wow. Well, I got a big card on my GoPro, and you know, I got a lot of space to use. And you know, I do some videoing with my phone, like the intros and outros and stuff. I'll do it on my phone, and I'll edit videos while I'm fishing. If there's nothing going on, I'll start putting my stuff together on Splice. And I do it old school. I mean, everything on my phone. I do it through Splice, and I'll put my trailer on there and everything, you know. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, I have a lot of fun making fishing videos, and I like it a lot. But you know, it's a lot of work too. A lot of work. If you start getting stressed out about Monday, if I ain't got a video to put up, so I'll start looking for little places to go and do things. And you know, this last video I had, I made it in 2 parts because it was 2 different ponds, and the first video was just long enough to make a video out of, and the second one was just a little 5-minute, 6-minute deal, you know, by the time I put the intros and outros and all that stuff on it. But I like it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Like I say, it's a lot of work. If you think making YouTube videos ain't a lot of work, you ain't doing it right.
Editing is the worst part of it for me. A lot of people enjoy editing videos. For me, that's, you know, 5 or 6 hours you can put into editing one, especially if it's a long video and you're trying to cut it down short and put in some music and that kind of thing. It takes up some time.
Yeah, I know that Dieter and New School, New School has got some kind of serious editing software now or something. I mean, he's doing some crazy stuff on his Facebook and his YouTube. I don't know where he's got a green screen or what they call that, but he's got some serious stuff going on his channel. And I think when he figures that out, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah. I've only watched a couple of his videos here lately. I get notifications for him all the time, but like I said, I haven't been messing with YouTube here for about a month, and I've seen some stuff he's put out has really upgraded itself really quickly.
Yeah.
Just from the pictures and stuff that you see of the screenshots.
Yeah, he's doing some serious stuff over there. I don't know what kind of software he's got. I would never want to fool with nothing like that. I don't think. I think I'm about as far as I'm ever going to go. Working on a poor man's budget.
Yeah. You both, bro. But that's the thing about my channel. That's what it's for.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get any farther than a GoPro and this phone for me. I mean, I had to buy me a new phone because my other phone wouldn't do half of the stuff I wanted it to do because it was just clogging up memory and stuff like that. So I bought me a new iPhone XS with the 512 gigs. So that was my milestone in YouTube, is getting a phone that would hold 512 gigs of space, you know. So.
Wow.
That's about as far as I'm going.
Oh, Irvin's in here. He says, "Hey, Big Nasty." I'm sorry, I'm just now catching up on the chat stuff. Now Irvin, he wants to tell you hi. Says he didn't go to a Waffle House or something. I don't know where that came from. Tip. Says that YouTube might be moving it up to 1,000 friends or followers, subscribers, before you get to go live.
What?
I hope that doesn't happen, because that'll take away what I get to do on here.
Well, you know, I think they're just trying to do everything they can to keep little man from going anywhere. They want big hitter, heavy hitters, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that kind of sucks, because that's what YouTube was for everybody to get out there and get to share what they do and love. And I guess money's king whenever it comes to stuff like that, because they can advertise on those channels.
Yeah, that greed to get you sooner or later. I mean, I don't know. I just I feel like, if you ain't making no money, you ain't making no money. So what? Maybe they don't want you clogging up their YouTube with people like us, but you got to start out somewhere, right?
Yeah, I wish they would eventually come out with a good competitor for YouTube and even Facebook. Facebook, they're very bad about editing people out to fit their, I think, political beliefs and things, and YouTube seems to be kind of headed that way.
I tell you what, you just talked about Irvin, the paid tourist. Now that boy's got some serious stuff to play with too.
Mm-hmm.
I watch some of them 300, on my TV. I watch a lot of y'all on my TV, because it's just easier to see, rather than sitting here looking at a phone. And watching Irvin with that 360-degree camera, it's hard on your TV because it just looks warped.
Yep.
On TV. Now, when you're on your phone, you can spin your phone around like this, and you can see everything. But on my TV, it just don't look right. So I have to watch him on my phone when he does that stuff. But yeah, he's got some serious stuff he's playing with. He could be a major contender on a darn fishing video.
If he ever get out of that truck and go fishing.
I know. He told me we might go fishing one day.
He's just got to get in this area.
Irvin. That's all right. I get teased a lot about going fishing.
Why is that? People just say, "Hey, we're gonna go."
People just sometimes say, "Hey, we're going fishing such and such time," and I won't bother you if you say that. I will not bother you. I won't call you. I won't mess with you. No. But if you don't take me, I won't never trust you again. That's one thing with me. Talk about something gets under my skin. You can come crap on my lawn if you want to. You can key my car. You don't talk about fishing and not come through with me. I ain't talking about Irvin. Me and Irvin get together for it. So if he can ever get out of the truck, but there are people that say, "Well, get together and go fishing one day." And I had to do just a tip like that the other night, and I told him, I said, "Man, I don't like that." I said, "I feel bad when I have to do that, because I know how it bothers me when people tell me we're going to get together and go fishing and we don't, or they never call back, or they never come through." I'm like a little kid when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'll cut you over fishing.
Yep. I know this year I had a list of people that I was supposed to take starting last fall, and that's when the boat tore up. I haven't had the money to get it fixed, and all those. I mean, they were local guys, so people I knew, growing up and everything. And I tell them all the time, it's like, when I get the boat ready, I'll get back on that list. But it's when you ain't got the money to fix something, you ain't got the money to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different story altogether. But I just don't, I don't know how to explain it. It just, that kind of stuff irritates me when people know, how much I like to go, and they sit there and say, "Well, we'll go one day," or something like that. No, if you don't intend on going, don't ever ask me. Don't ever tell me. Just leave it alone. I can be friends with you without you saying you're gonna fish with me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's not the fact that they leave or whatever, they don't want to talk to me or whatever, because I told them to take them fishing.
Right.
But to me, when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I want to do it. I don't like saying, hey, I'm going to take you fishing next week, and then I can't do it, and then I got to call them or say I can't do it, or man, that hurts me because I let somebody down.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of the few bank fishermen that you'll ever see that truly hates to bank fish. I don't like it. I don't want to be on the bank. I do it out of necessity sometimes. I got a John boat, and that's what I fish in ponds and stuff. But when it comes to the river and some lakes, I can't put it on a lake because it don't have any numbers in it. So on it. So I like to fish in a boat. So when somebody starts teasing me with a boat, that really gets me ready. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going fishing. So
if I ever get to go with you, I'm going to have to get a bigger boat.
I don't know. I ain't that big. I can fold up in the back seat of most cars and all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty flexible for a big old 6'5" fat fella. I can fold up in a lot of places. Did you see that boy that was on the boat with me the other day?
No, I did not.
That boy's big now. And he was on the bow of the boat, on the smallest seat on the boat, catching fish, and he didn't complain a bit. I mean, that boy's probably 400 pounds. He's a big boy.
Woo.
So yeah, me, I'm 320. He's probably 4, and Preston's probably, I don't know, 210. 200, 210. That was a lot of meat on that boat.
About to say, I don't know if I can do that on my John boat.
And we was in a little pond too. But we never got stuck. We always got out of the places we went in. Before
I had this fishing ski, I actually traded a pontoon for it. It was a 20-foot low pontoon, and I have most of my friends are your size, and I had a couple of them on there, and they were up there on the front. They were standing up there, and we were cruising down the lake, and I went to stop, and the whole front of the boat went under the water all the way up to the console. I was like, y'all big sons of guns got to get back here in the back. This ain't going to work.
Yeah, that's tough when you got that much meat on the boat. They got a thing on Facebook now where you can win a boat. And I put in for it the other day, and my girlfriend was like, you ain't going to win that boat. I said, well, I know I ain't going to win it. I said, but I sure ain't going to win it if I don't put in for it. She said, well, if you get the boat, I'll never see you again. I said, that's a good possibility. If you ain't on the boat, you probably won't.
Well, if you get a boat, I mean, she can go with you. She likes to fish.
She loves to fish. She just don't like being on camera. She can't stand being on camera. But she likes to fish, and she's good. She's good at it. She can catch fish with the best of them, and she usually gets me pretty good when we go out. She'll start betting with me. First fish, biggest fish, most fish, and one day I was on a boat with her, and she bet me like $5 who caught the first fish. So then she started trying to bet me 20. I said, no, I ain't betting no 20. I ain't betting no 20. No luck's too good. And I said, all right. And I held my big arm up. I said, if you can catch a fish that I can fold my fingers up and put in his mouth, and if he drags my elbow on his tail, $20. And I no more than got out of my mouth, and she caught one. And I hooked my fingers in his mouth, and his tail dragged my elbow. So I had to pay her $25. And I don't gamble with her no more. No more.
No, it's like I took my wife not too long ago. We went to a little lake here called Broadway. It's like there's some good sized catfish in here, and we'll do pretty good on here. And we got out there, and I marked a couple and got up there, set up, and all of a sudden one of the rods just plowed over. And I mean, this lake is not just a couple hundred acres. I mean, it's small, not crappie in it, things like that. But man, we was out there, and that rod bent over. It was a 32-pound blue cat.
Wow.
And she's just giddy as she can be. I mean, she got it in. I got it in the boat, and she's just ecstatic. And I'm just like, ain't no way in the world I'll catch a fish like that in here. Well, I did catch a 28-pound flathead on that lake, but man, it was crazy. That was her best fish she ever caught, and not far from my personal best cat. But man, it made her whole day.
Well, that's what I've been trying to get her on. I said, she wants to go shark fishing. And I said, well, before you catch a shark, you got to catch a big blue catfish because it's going to be pretty close. I mean, in comparison on a medium heavy rod, what you catch out on the ocean with a shark, with a decent sized shark, it's going to be pretty comparable for a woman her size. So I told her, I said, you need to catch a big blue cat first. And if you can handle a big blue cat, we'll go shark fishing. So we're going to try that one day.
So, I say, I'm going to let you talk for a second. I'm going to step outside, but tell us a little bit about, growing up, who taught you to fish, who, got you into it, grandpa, dad, grandma, somebody. Talk about that for a minute and just let everybody know kind of how you got into fishing.
How many people's in here? Am I talking to anybody?
I know Justin Tip said he's got to run. I know Irvin's still in here. I don't know. I can't see it on my side because I don't have the YouTube up. All I got is Google Hangouts.
Well, my dad probably got me into fishing. He used to take me fishing when I was young. He was kind of disabled. He was he'd had about 9 strokes and 3 heart attacks altogether by the end of his life. But he had his first stroke in 1976. So I think I was 11 years old when he had his first stroke because I was born in 66. So he would take me fishing, but he couldn't really go out on a boat or anything like that. So we would bank fish, catching little brim and bass. And when the brim would go on the bed at certain places, we'd catch those big slabs and stuff like that. But I think the one that really got me hooked on fishing was my uncles. Well, one of my uncles anyway. He lived around the Saluda, South Carolina area. Lived near Batesburg and Leesville area. And he used to take me out a little bit on the Little Saluda River. And I caught the biggest shell cracker I ever caught in my life with him. It was like a 1.75 pound shell cracker. And we were going to have it mounted. I froze it in a block of ice, and somehow or another, over time, it being in the freezer and stuff, it kind of got uncovered and messed up, and we was never able to mount it anyway. But, I've caught bigger brim than that since then. I've caught some 2 and pretty close to 3 pound brim in a little pond down here in Lancaster. Well, I say they was pretty close to 3 pounds. They were over 2. And, I would say he probably is the one that got me hooked on fishing. But they say my dad, when my dad was young, I told this on my live feeds one time. My dad used to go by, do you know where 96 South Carolina is?
Oh, yeah, right there at the end of Lake Greenwood.
Yeah, 96. That's where my mom and dad were from, 96. And they said when my dad was growing up, he used to get in trouble all the time. And he would steal watermelons and all kinds of stuff. And the police were always after him. And he would do some horrendous things. The dogs in the neighborhood would be chasing your car and stuff. And he'd put burlap sacks behind the hubcaps of them. And when they'd bite the burlap sack and flip them down the road and stuff. And he was always getting in trouble. So his mom was kind of getting disgusted with him, and he said he wanted to go in the military, and he was 14 years old. And I think by the time she finally got fed up enough with him, back then they just wrote your name in a Bible, and that was your birth, that was your birthday. When you was born, they wrote your name in a Bible, and that was it. They went and signed him up for the military, and he just turned 15 years old. And he actually turned 16 during World War II in Japan. But they said after he got out of the military, they said he would go by a car lot, and he would tell him he wanted to test drive a car. And he would take that car out, and him and one of my uncles, would go fishing in it all day long. And they'd come back and bring that thing back with mud all over the side of it and fish fish smell all in it, where they done had the fish stringer in the back, and they then went by the house and cleaned the fish up and everything. And they'd just tell the guy they didn't want the car anymore. You know, I mean, nah, I ain't interested in it. That just ain't what I'm looking for. And about every other week, they'd go by that same car lot and test drive a car and go fishing because he didn't have a car to go fishing in. But they say he was a big fisherman. He liked to go to Santee a lot. You know, he'd talk about them big snakes dropping off in the boat, which that's one of them stories like a dam, you know. That's something you've heard all your life about them big old snakes dropping off in the boat.
Water moccasins chasing you up the creek.
Yeah. So, but he used to tell me about Santee all the time. And I seen pictures of him holding stringers of catfish that unreal. I mean, they wasn't big catfish, but, you know, I'm talking about 30 or 40 catfish between him and my uncle, you know, holding stringers up. It just loaded down with catfish. So he was a big fisherman, but, you know, later in his life and early in my life, he just wasn't able to go a lot because he was so sick, you know. And we went every chance we got, but, you know, through the years, I kind of got in and out of fishing so many times. I'd get rid of my fishing. I'd sell everything I had. And then get back into it and start collecting it again. And, you know, teenage years come along and you out there running around on the street and stuff, and you get rid of it all again or stop going. But this last time, I think I got the bug really bad. I think I got it probably worse than I ever had it. Not much of a hunter or anything like that. I just like to fish.
Yeah, I understand that. You know, I grew up hunting, and Grandpa would take me. I grew up with my grandparents, and, you know, we would go fishing and stuff, but I grew up hunting and loved it. And, you know, I went out west and lived there and got kind of spoiled on hunting out there. Come back here, and it's like, man, it's like hunting here just ain't the same. You know, you sit in a deer stand all day long, or you sit out here, you cluck a few times, the turkey walks up. And I kind of got into fish. I bought a boat and got into fishing, and I've been hooked on it a lot since then. And my dad and me, we growing up had some differences, and that was one thing that we connected on. Whenever he came back here from Montana and Florida, we started fishing together and built a relationship doing that. And that's where my passion has been. I still love to hunt. It's just not the same as my passion for catching catfish.
Yeah. I have hunted before. It's just, I don't know. I just never got the itch for it like fishing, you know. I don't like getting up in the morning, sitting in a tree, freezing my butt off, waiting on a deer to come by. I do remember the feeling when I'd see one, but 9 times out of 10, I was hunting a trophy. I mean, I was hunting a monster. I wasn't looking for a little deer. And I just sit there and watch them play, you know, watch the fawns play or the does play around. If a 4-point walk by, I just let him walk by. And sometimes I just see what I can get away with, you know, making noise and yelling and, hey, you know. And I would just see what I could get away with the deer that I didn't want anything to do with. And never saw a big one. Never saw a monster come by. So, you know, that was kind of something that over time I just, it just ain't for me. I'd rather do the fishing thing. So.
Yeah, but going out there in the morning, freezing your butt off, catching fish to go fishing it doesn't bother me. I love going when it's the colder it is. I like going out there to fish as long as there ain't no ice on the water. I love going out there when it's cold.
Well, I don't really get cold. I don't get cold because I'm doing something. I'm moving around.
Yep.
Sitting still in that stand, you got to be still. And you know, I tend to get cold doing that. But when I go out on a boat, you know, putting the boat in the water or getting everything out of the truck, you know, you get your body moving around and stuff, and you get warmed up a little bit when you're out on the boat. You know, you reeling fish or moving around. I just don't like sitting still that much. But I mean, you know, it was fun while I did it. It just ain't for me. It's just something that didn't work out for me, and I decided that I like fishing a whole lot more than hunting.
That, and one thing about me, I don't like heights. So getting up in the climber 30, 40 feet off the ground, man, I don't like that.
That's another thing. I'm kind of a wuss when it comes. 10 feet, I can deal with 10 feet. But if you ask me to get much more than 10, now I might get up there. You probably gonna have to come get me down. You probably gonna have to come talk my big butt down out of that thing, because I don't like coming down ladders. And, I'm so dang big that a climber scares me to death. I feel like it's gonna break. That's why I don't like rides at Carowinds, because I feel like that thing's gonna pop loose and I'm gonna go flying out. I just don't deal well with heights. Good. I'm about like you with that.
Yeah, I know. In my line of work, when I was working for the previous company I was working for, man, you had to get up in those lifts. And I was fine until that thing started swaying back and forth, and it don't work for me.
Yeah.
So I like my blind. I got small blinds out here. I can jump in the hunt, and that's about as much as I like to do.
Right.
Joe Buck, welcome, man. I'm glad you stopped by. Do you have any questions for Big Nasty?
I'm sorry I can't see chat, folks, but I can't see nothing. All I can see is your face.
Yeah. You have a computer that you can sit at eventually?
No.
If you did, I could show you how to split it off. What I have to do is open the YouTube, take the chat out, slide it to one side, put the Google Hangouts on the other so I can read the comments.
I'm lucky to have done this. I had to come in under a different name. I don't know what it says. Is this another YouTube channel altogether? I mean, what does it show me?
No, this is the same one. It's Google Hangout. The good thing about Google Hangouts is really easy to use. All you do is click on the most Google devices support it. And all you got to do is click on it and it'll work. That's the good thing about it. It's very easy to use. But when you're on a computer, man, you got to move screens around and things like that to get YouTube and Google Hangouts on the same screen.
But it don't show me up as Fishing with Big Nasty, though, does it?
Right now it just says Bass. It doesn't say Fishing with Big Nasty.
Yeah, this is another thing altogether, something that Preston put together. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get my Fishing with Big Nasty thing connected to this. So anyway.
Well, is there anything coming up that you want to talk about? So we're going to kind of wrap it up. Is there anything coming up you want to talk about, or anything, questions you have, or anything you want to talk about before we get off?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not really. I think we pretty much talked probably more than people want to hear us.
All right. Well, I guess I'll end this, and I'll go back to doing the thing if you want to hang out for a minute, but I was kind of sit around and talk for a minute. And, man, thank you for coming on here, man. This has been a great interview, pretty much. I mean, I was way more than I was expecting to get done tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. How many people did you finally get in here?
I have no idea. I can't see it in the Google Hangouts. But I guess I'll get in here, and since people showed up, I'll do the old Smoky Moonshine. I always try to do something stupid for everybody while I'm in here. As you said, there's enough, there's a lot of family-friendly things and, like that on YouTube. And tonight's been a little different, so I guess I'll do this just to kind of keep it back to what I usually do.
Well, I enjoyed it. I'm going to duck out of here. I got to get ready to go to bed because I'm going to Beaufort in the morning. But to everybody that dropped in, I appreciate it. And I'll see y'all around shortly here. Hopefully I have a fishing video for y'all around the first of the week. If I can get on some of these fish at the ocean. So we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, liven it up a little bit. And anytime, just let me know if you want to do another one, man. I really appreciate it. And everybody, check out his channel, Fishing with Big Nasty, on YouTube. If you ain't subscribed to him, which most people in here I know are. Man, it was good having you on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy.
Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Safe travels.
If I can figure out how to get out of here.
All right, y'all. That was Jeff. He's Fishing with Big Nasty on YouTube here. I know most of the guys in here that's watching, but if you're watching this on a replay, man, go and subscribe to him. He's a great guy. I got to meet him at the YouTubers tournament. Has some great videos. I mean, he's got that gift of gab and likes to entertain people. Got a really good show. Joe Book, I think I said welcome to the live feed. I don't know if he's still in or not. And Irvin, I don't know if you're still sitting in the parking lot watching. But yeah, we're going to do this. We do fish, deer, and beer, but buddy, he wanted me to do this on YouTube. It's an Old Smoky Moonshine, 128 proof blue flame. So there's a little bit more than a shot, so I'm gonna do half of it. It looks rough. I don't know if I really want to do it or not. It ain't it's not wide lightning, but it's 128 proof. So I guess we'll do it. This is the bottle. Still sitting at the Waffle House. All right, well, here we go. Woo! Damn, that ain't pretty close to white lightning. Dang. Whew. Man. It's not 190, but it sure tastes like it. Whew. It warms you up from the inside out. Man. It's good. It's smooth, but it has, I think it's just white lightning with some blue coloring in it. Whew. Man. I don't know how many people still in the chat, but they're still watching. But man, that was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. Well, everybody, I guess I'm going to, after that, I'm going to get off here. If nobody has any questions or wants to talk, like I said, check out Big Nasty here on YouTube. He said he puts out some good videos, some really good bait fishing videos. Has a couple, some guys he fishes with. He has one really good one. They were fishing at a, I guess one of my favorites that I've seen is when they're fishing at a boat ramp, and the guy he's fishing with is a nice fish. So guys, check him out. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in here and I'll answer them. You guys have a good night, and God bless America.